On a serious note, yeah, I think Lobola is important. It's very cultural, and I'm very cultural. Yeah, this new law about it doesn't need to be considered. Nah, it's considered. I'm getting Lobola. You get it? I'm getting Lobola. I don't care. Ah. I am single. Yeah.
Well, I am taken for just over a year. I'm single.
Single. Man, single. Man's out here. I'm 10 toes down. I'm here, baby. I'm faded up. Not faded, shaped up. Come on, B. I'm single. Been single for about, what, 3 years?
Okay, very single, very, very, very single. Yeah. Why? Whew. Okay, that's different. Um, not really, to be fair. Not really. I'm not too pressed about body counts.
Um, to be honest with you, it doesn't. Depending on the number, it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Because at the end of the day, like, the older we're getting, like we're kind of getting a little bit freakier, innit? Like, we're doing it more madnesses. So, like, it's not. I can't be naive to think that the person I'm gonna marry, they're not gonna do a madness before or something. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my body count matters to me because um I feel like as a woman as well, like if your body count is really high, it just shows that yeah, you kinda lose. And within myself, I really care about because body count I feel like comes with a lot of soul ties, spiritual bondages and all that. Yeah, so it really matters, spiritually speaking.
For me as a female, in regards to men's body count, it doesn't really matter to me. It more matters to me the people that you've slept with. Why? Because I don't feel like it's any of my business how many people you've slept with in the past, and I feel like I'm a pretty laid back person, so it doesn't really affect me at all.
In my opinion, I feel like the question of body count is something that you grow out of as you get older and you stop really concerning yourself with. Because you should end up focusing less on the stigma and more for the quality of the person. You'd be able to tell if the person you're with is about in the streets currently. And if you want to go for someone that's for the streets, then that's your own.
Contrary to the beliefs of many, because a lot of people say that if you slept with, but I mean, we've all done things, and body count being one of those things. So to me, it doesn't really matter. I think what I'm more concerned about is at what point do I meet you in life, and what is your mindset at that particular point, and then we move on from there. Because if you start trying to dig into people's past, it becomes very complicated, I think.
Body count matters to me if the guy's just sleeping with anyone and everyone, like just carelessly. But other than that, I don't really mind. You can just do your thing.
It's hard to say yes, that her body count matters. I would think in theory it must, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't bother me. I think that's one of the things that has never really bothered me that much. And in most terms, I don't even ask, to be fair. Don't ask, don't tell. Most cases, I don't ask. I actually have a problem when people ask me, but I don't ask. So I would say no.
No, same again. If he's sleeping with everyone and everyone, then my husband's body count is going to matter to me. But if he's like being a bit bougie with it, then I don't mind. Or like if he slept with loads of my friends too, I couldn't. That's just no.
Like, I can't be naive to think that my wife hasn't done something before I met her. That's how I see it.
So you're cool with marrying hoes?
No, it's not even. It's not even, there's a certain extent. That's what talking stages are for. Talking stages are for you to assess the whole person. So if you gather the information, it's now on me to make that decision. It's on me. So yeah, I need to do my own background research and assess the whole thing, taking in what she says about her situation with a pinch of salt. Kind of just, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's different, man.
No, still no. It doesn't really bother me at all. Once again, it's just more about the people that he might have done it with, and even if there was someone that I knew, I wouldn't really be that fussed as long as it's not a close friend.
If it was before I knew her, you could judge someone. You judge people that you don't really know. But if I know her well enough to think, yeah, she's someone I call a wifey, then it's not really going to matter, is it? Especially because I won't be thinking about them anyway.
To be honest, I feel like it does. But then again, coming in reality, I feel like if he was to tell me his body count and he has met all my needs and like he's ticked all the boxes, it's a situation where it's like, you know what? It is what it is. Because well, guys, they have a different perspective compared to us women. So I think, yes, it does matter, but then again, in reality speaking, it is going to be high anyway.
Would you be okay if his body count was 0?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's okay. Like, come on. Gotta teach him how it's done, innit? I'm joking. You have to cut that one. You have to cut that one. You have to cut that one.
No problem.
Now, that's a difficult question for me to answer, simply because, one, it doesn't matter to me. Because it doesn't matter to me. So that becomes very, very, very difficult. But let me try to think. I think there's always been a double standard where body count is concerned, or where relationship is concerned, where male and females are concerned. There's always been a thing whereby if a guy has a large number of body counts, if you want to call it that, then they're a G. But if a woman has, then they are a quote-unquote hoe. I personally don't think it is fair. I think most of it comes from a cultural background, how culture depict what women should do and what women should be, and how culture has always come down on women as a whole. The responsibilities of a home are on a woman, whereas a man can do a lot and, can get away with it in culture. So I personally think that is where the whole notion of women being looked down upon where body count is concerned comes from.
I feel like that's because the parents have instilled that in their heads from young. So high body count matters.
Well, I don't necessarily even think that statement is true. I don't think it's factual.
Yeah, they do have a problem. Yeah, they've got a problem. I don't know, man. It's because I feel like black people are family orientated. A lot of us are. Even those that have grown up in single parent households, we're very family orientated. So we need to step off on the right foot. That's why people are a bit cautious. That's why.
Yeah, they say like when you're a woman or you're a young girl, and your body count is high. I think it's perceived as like, oh, you're a whole sort of thing. Like you're about, you're always about everybody's running trains through you and all that stuff. Yeah, I feel like that's the main reason. I would understand what else it could be. And obviously they wouldn't want to be with with a girl that's been about. You never know, maybe one of their boys is like one of their things and ex things. You never know.
Yeah, I don't even think the statement is true.
I feel like it is well known that black men, I wouldn't say have an issue, but are concerned maybe over a woman's body count, and I think that's acceptable and I understand it. Why that is because I feel like men are natural predators in a sense, and obviously pick wisely when they find a woman that they're interested in, so these things would really matter, and yeah, I think that's fine. I feel like it is an insecurity, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel like at the same time, like it's their morals that they're being brought up with, that girls shouldn't have a high body count, so I'm a bit 50-50 on it.
I disagree. I disagree with what she's saying in the sense that it's different for men and women. Women need to. It's just different. Like women need to understand that a woman has a very, very significant role within a household. A very significant to the point whereby, like, what a mother does has more of an impact on kids than what a father does. So a father can hoe and do whatever they can, and then they can split ways with the mom and do whatever. But then the woman now, she can't be on the same vibe just because the man did it. She's got a significant role. Mothers make or break. That's why there's a lot more single mums there, because they can do it. That's the significance they have in a household. So it's different. Yes, you can do your 30 things and bragging about your WAP and whatever. Cool. But the significance that a woman has in a household is way more significant and has way more of an impact to children than what men do. If you were to ask your father his body, if you were to ask your dad his body count, he'll probably tell you the honest truth. But your mum can't tell you the honest truth about her body count. Why? Because she needs to portray herself in a certain way. There needs to be consistencies.
Anyone who cares about body count is insecure, but yeah, you need to also know what you're looking for in a partner. What they practice, what their goals are, other things like that. And if this doesn't correlate with that, then everyone's different. Everyone's got their own situation. If that doesn't correlate with what you want for your partner, so be it. But everyone is sexual. Regardless if it's the right thing they should be doing or not.
Yeah, do you know what? It's double standard saying that women are just as sexual as men and their body count can be as high as as they want. I feel like, yeah, when women say that, wait, hold on, am I confusing myself?
Okay, I refer back to my previous answer that there is double standards. I think it is always easier to do things to somebody than it is for you to taste your own medicine. For example, most men who have a high count, they for some reason have an issue with women who have a high count. But that's probably something to do with they start comparing themselves that, okay, if they've had these many, guys that they've slept with, how do I marry in comparison to that? So I do think there's a level of insecurity that comes with that. But I also think that it is something to do with just being selfish, if you will. Because if you can do it, I should be able to do it. Taste your own, taste your own medicine. I think a lot of guys are more insecure than they put across or they come across, especially when it comes to issues of sex.
I think women can be as sexual as men. I feel like it doesn't really matter if you're a man or a woman, it depends on your sexual preference. Women's body count can be as high as they want, of course, anyone's can be. And men who care about that are insecure. I wouldn't call it insecurity at all. I think that as a woman, we need to accept that that's how life is, or that's how society is right now in time. So I definitely wouldn't say that men are insecure for thinking about a woman's body count.
Yeah. So when women say that, yeah, I feel like they're trying to like say don't have double standards, but in my opinion, I feel like yeah, women are just as sexual as men, but then again, as women, you should kind of protect yourself. You should kind of like look after yourself, make sure you know. Because I feel like, yeah, sex is a powerful tool. Yeah.
Just a loyal, confident guy, and one that looks after his woman. Like, that's all really. I feel like guys like to make it complicated when it doesn't need to be complicated.
Okay. Personally, I like to think this is what I like to think. I think my exes might beg to differ, but I like to think that I'm very cultured. I like to think I'm very cultured, and I respect culture. I respect my culture. I take pride in my culture. Therefore, in a woman, or rather in a girl, I would like a girl that is cultured. We're talking about respect. I know respect is reciprocal, so I'm not saying that they respect me, I disrespect them. Who have respect, who knows how to communicate, who knows how to communicate well. It's one thing to communicate, it's another thing to communicate well. Communication, respect is very important. And somebody who's family orientated, family means a lot to me. And I believe that when two people come together, they bring two families together. They don't break them up, because you've got relationships that come and break families up, and I'm not on that.
You have to be like a very hardworking guy, like proper hands-on. Like I feel like he has to be very handy guy, like helpful, not just laying around doing nothing. And for one, you have to be a very God-fearing guy. Like you need, yeah, he can have enjoyment, whatnot, but then again, you need to know that all the honor goes to God and all that. And like you have to be a very like looking after your family. Like family is your number one thing. Like you put family first. Yeah, with me, family is first in it. So you have to take care of your family first. Then everything else follows. That's like my three main things. Hardworking, God fearing, and family first.
I need someone that I can start home with, really. Do you know what I mean? That's me. Someone that I can see is family orientated. I like my family. Someone that can respect my family. I've always had my family, with or without you. They're going to be there. It's a guarantee my family are going to bury me if I pass away. God forbid, touch wood. There isn't a guarantee that you're going to bury me. Exes don't bury your friends and family bury you. That's the guarantee. So you need to understand that. It's not a competition thing. You get me? I need someone that's, ideally spiritual, religious, Muslim or Christian. I'm not fussed. As long as there's some morals, we need some morals. Someone that's a bit relaxed. Yeah, man, that's me. Obviously, in terms of appearance, I like nice feet, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like nice feet, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, on some real shit. Big back, nice smile. Yeah, skin color, not too fast. I like all types of melanin, but I like melanin.
So someone with ambition, independent, loving, romantic, and just respectful, but also manly. So it takes the lead and control in the relationship.
Yeah, that's me still. White girls, you can do your thing. White girls, you can. I've never tried it, but currently now as I'm speaking, melanin. Boom, boom. Doctor, all shades, boom. That's me. That's what I like. That is what I'm on.
Relationship with God has to definitely have a good, solid foundation. She has to be paying. And finally, and appreciate creativity and art. And then the rest we can freestyle.
So you kind of think like,
Obviously, make an effort. I'll make it my direct debit to take you weekly. Now, I won't take you there. You go, like, pay the money, you go. Nah, yeah, I like that still. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
As long as the family love me as well, because family is important. Because if like his family. Cause if it's like a situation he likes me and then the family are like, like what's this? Who's she? But personally, he has to be Southern African. He can't be thingy.
And they have to be saved. Obviously, me being a minister and stuff like that, it is very mandatory that whoever I am is a person who loves God, is a person who wants to serve God, is a person who values the word of God, because that's what I stand for.
And you know what I found about worrying, yeah? It's like, you pan the outfit's paying, but then the feet are just not it. No. Oh, bro. It's not it, bro.
Yeah, I don't think. To be honest, I feel like for me to love someone or like for me to be in love, yeah, you must treat me different. Wow. And I feel like if you come with just regular energy, like typical energy, nah, I'm sorry. You're just a boy in the list.
Of course, marriage is important to me. It's part of the strongest covenant that we can have. And if I am looking for a girl, we're gonna have to get married eventually. I got plans for leaving a good life for some children and having a beautiful wife to do that with.
When I was younger, marriage was important to me, but now I'm not really. I don't feel like I want to get married as much as I used to.
why?
I don't know, just why? I don't know. I just don't. No, I don't see the point, right, in like having to get married to like solidify something. You can just be together and stay together, and eventually, maybe like after 30 years or something, I might do the marriage just because. But
Marriage is important. It is. Household. We need to have good household. One togetherness. One brings family together. It's very important. Don't let people lie to you and tell you it's not. It's important. That's why you're here. That is the grand finale of your life. Yeah. If you're on this, no, bruv. You want to get married. Do you get me? So yeah, that's what I'm on. Yeah.
No. Obviously, as a girl, I would like to get married and wear the white dress and all that kind of stuff. But signing the papers and stuff is not really that important to me at all. No.
Yes, I feel like marriage is very important to me. And I've been brought, having that sort of mindset. And obviously in the Bible as well, it talks about it. Because you don't want to be a woman that's just like, marriage. You just want to have boyfriends. Oh, it's almost like downed upon in the African culture, don't you think?
Marriage is important. Contrary to the beliefs of many, again, being a preacher, it's not for everybody. I strongly believe that there are people who are called to singlehood. As difficult as that is, because then fornication comes into play and stuff like that. But I do believe that there are people who are called to singlehood and to service as unto God. I believe that. I think Apostle Paul is the one who says that. But it is good to get married. I think the whole reason that God made the constitution of marriage is so that people can partner up. I believe that two is better than one. Partner up, be fruitful and multiply, therefore procreate. So I believe that marriage is very important. And it is very important to me.
Yes, I do want kids. I want kids still, boy or girl. I'm not fussed, man. Like, kids are blessings, innit? Do you know, people are on this gender reveal thing. What are you playing at? What are you playing at, bro? Kids are blessings. What? If the thing comes out pink, at the gender reveal, you're gonna be like, oh, nah, bro. Kids are blessings. Like, take your blessing. I like kids, yeah. Not in that way, but yeah, I wanna have kids. Yeah, I wanna have kids.
So, absolutely, I do. Although I would plan significantly before I just pop something out. So yeah.
I've got kids. I've got kids. I've got two beautiful kids. I've got a daughter and a son that I love so much. As for do I want more kids? That's a different question. I'm gonna leave that hanging.
I used to want kids when I was younger as well again, but now I'm like not too eager to have children. I think because I have a little dog as well, I treat him like my child. Like now I just literally want loads of dogs and no kids. But when I'm like a big businesswoman, I'll have a child maybe then to like spoil one or two.
Yeah, I want children. I want like roughly 3, maybe 4. But the amount of children you have also can depend on how rich you are, financially stable. So if I get bare rich and bare bored, you never know.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm so excited to have kids, man. To be a mom. I feel like when they're babies, yeah, but once they get to like the age of like 10 and upwards, yeah.
I feel like it's a good thing. Like, if my husband wants to marry me, or my man wants to marry me, and I'm worth that amount, then he should give my mum 8 cows or whatever it is.
This is a very interesting one. I think that the concept of it is beautiful. But I feel like, just like a lot of things, people have a tendency to pervert something that is good, something that is meant for good, because Lobola is supposed to be paid as respect. For me, being a believer, it's something that dates back to the olden days. You're talking about Isaac, you're talking about Jacob. It dates back there, whereby one of the, I forgot the names now, had to labor for a couple of years, I think 7 years, for him to be given a wife by the father. So that's where the concept is derived from, where Christianity is concerned. I can speak for anybody else. And within that, it is a beautiful concept. It shows that you can be a man. It shows you can provide. It shows that you can honor. And if you can honor the parents, ideally, you are able to honor your family, you're able to honor the wife, and you're able to translate that into your children. However, I feel that through the years, people have turned it into a get-rich scheme, get rich quick scheme, whereby the more girls that you have, the more money that you're gonna get, and the more you can charge. So instead of building relationships and honor being the main reason why it is done, people started making it a money kind of a thing. So people charge ridiculous amounts, and you think, am I paying for the person? Because I think now it's turned almost like when you go to marry, you're going to pay for somebody. And I think that this is where a lot of abuse is now coming from, because now men feel very entitled to ownership to the woman. Yes, she's your woman, in that regards, but they like own her as a piece of property that they can do whatever it is because you purchased her, that's what it's turned into. So I think in that regards, it's kind of lost its essence, but the core foundation of what it is very beautiful.
Or like, can you give money instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you should give a mum lots of money to marry me.
Those cows have to come fry. You're mad. My dad has to get like half of them. My mum has to get also a half maybe, or maybe yeah, she has to get something. And my brother has to get something. Yeah. No, but on a serious note, yeah, I think Lobola is important. It's very cultural, and I'm very cultural. Yeah, this new law, but it doesn't need to be considered. Nah, it's considered. I'm getting Lobola. You get it? I'm getting Lobola. I don't care. I'm a lot, Yeah.
Lobola, just crack on with it, mate. You need to just do it. It's culture. Yeah, I feel like the problem that people have is they're looking at the money. They're not looking at the whole picture. It's a whole. It brings families together. You get the respect of the other side. It just makes the transition easier. So now, if you want to go against it, you're making the transition a lot harder by you going against it and you opposing it. You're only fooling yourself. If you want to marry a Zim girl, you're only fooling yourself because you're going to face that hurdle. You are going to face that hurdle. Now, it's either you get with the program or you don't. Because that sitting room where there's 5 uncles deep, you're going to be crying. You're going to be crying. So just understand it. Don't look at the money. Do you get me? Understand what it brings to the table. It brings families together. You get the respect of the other side. So it's a beautiful day when it all goes well. But yeah.
You don't understand how important it is. My mum went through it, my grandma went through it, my aunties went through it. I have to go through it. Why not? It has to happen.
As a concept, it's a bit wild, because if you think about it, you're basically just selling your daughter for price, like on money price, which is a bit weird. I can't lie. But it's part of a tradition as well. And I'm not even totally against bride price. If you're rich, I guess it's nothing, innit? As a concept, it's a bit mad, but if everyone involved is okay with it, then it's fine. If I had the money, I'd do it. If I was broke, I'd start sweating. And then it would probably become an issue then. But I don't ever plan to be broke. But just don't come to me with some mad bride price. Yeah, allow it, innit?
Well, I wish it kind of still was a thing right now, especially in the UK. I don't think it's ever really been a thing in the UK, I'm not sure, but it should be. And I think it's actually, it makes a lot of sense, and it's nice to kind of go down that path rather than just getting with someone and fucking what the family think and all that kind of stuff. But I think that both ways are fine. Both ways are fine, yeah.
The most I pay for a bride price, if fam, I don't want to jinx anything, and I don't know who's watching this, and I know God's listening, and you know everything I double, so I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. So the most I pay, if I speak, I'm in trouble. That's my answer.
While we're saying that the girl must be, so must the man should be as well. And the fact that in most cases both of them aren't, I think that it should be okay. And people shouldn't come down so hard on women because they are not. Okay. Personally, I like to think, this is what I like to think. I think my exes might beg to differ. But I like to think that I'm very cultured. I like to think I'm very cultured, and I respect culture. I respect my culture. I take pride in my culture. Both of them aren't. I think that it should be okay. And people shouldn't come down so hard on women because they are not. However, I do believe that if one can hold themselves and can wait, they should. Coming from a biblical concept, sex before marriage is wrong. Now, not to make one sin bigger than the other, because some people lie, some people do this, and some people do that. So sex just falls in the confines of what sin is to begin with out of marriage. And if a woman can sin and can fall in that regards, a man can do that also. And if the people find themselves in that state, like, what are you going to do? Shall you die? Obviously not. If you find yourself in that state, I feel that if your mindset is right, if you're in a good place, then you should proceed. Otherwise, nobody's going to get married, because the percentage of the people who have managed and who are still managing to hold themselves to being virgins until they get married is decreasing by the day. So I feel no two ways about it.
Well, how do I feel about that? I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know this rule, by the way. I'm just finding out now, so it's a bit techy, innit? But we move. I wouldn't be a virgin by that time. Well, I'm not a virgin, so we're just gonna have to crack on with the rituals. We just have to. There's nothing you can do about it, because you're not gonna tell the parents that your daughter's not a virgin, innit? So. And I'm pretty sure parents, they're fully aware that their daughters are not virgins. I mean, parents, you can't be that naive. So, yeah, man. We're good, man.
Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, most women are not virgins by the time they want to get married. I think that would affect the bride price, but maybe it shouldn't. But life is life. It is what it is. We just got to get over it. So I don't know, because I've never kind of gone down that path myself. But maybe the bride price might go a little lower. Who knows?
At the end of the day, do you know what it's about? It's about getting on a level with the family. At the end of the day, you're taking their daughter. That's what it's about. You're not taking. Don't look at it like you're ordering some food at a restaurant. It's not like that. You're taking their daughter, and the return investment you get for their daughter, once everything is proper, it's gonna be you can't put a price to it, really.
Fam, if one of the requirements for me paying a bride price is you have to be a virgin, I do not, best know I'm getting a discount. You understand? 50% off, or I'm not paying at all because we broke regulations, you understand? And that's that, innit? Save me 7 goats. Jeez, I could start a farm with that.
You pressed it. You pressed the door. You're good. Like, you know what the Ussi's like. Like, you pressed the door. Yeah. Forget about pussy talks and virgin. Just go there and pay the money. See if you want the door, Like, yo, like, do you get what I'm saying? Don't make it harder for yourself.
I feel like all these are like old rules from like ancient times about virginity and stuff. So I don't feel like a girl needs to be a virgin to get married, well, to get the bride price. And how do they know anyway?
It's different for everyone. Every family's gonna have that old like prick of an uncle that's gonna charge you. You don't know, fam. You don't know. Like, the honest truth is, we don't know what happens until we get into that sitting room. We don't know what happened, so we can't prepare. Nothing.
To be honest, this generation, it's a bit mad. I think, yeah, if they know, they know. If they don't know, they don't know. And most of the time, some people have kids by the time they get married anyway. So, obviously, they're not a virgin, are they? So, I think, yeah, it is what it is. But the money has to come through. Through that bank account, baby. Do you get it?
We just have to crack on with it. Just make sure, all I'm saying, Zim man them, or people that want to marry Zim girls, just save your 6 bags, mate. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. Let's go.
I feel like that's right. Like, if you got me pregnant, you better do pay extra. Like, my body's being all damaged now. It's not the same as it used to be. Like, you did this to me, so you need to pay extra. It makes sense. I feel like all these are like old rules from like ancient times about virginity and stuff. So I don't feel like a girl needs to be a virgin to get married, well, to get the bride price. Like, you did this to me, so you need to pay extra. It makes sense.
I personally don't get. Listen. I do not get why you have to pay extra. This is my thing, because my understanding is it takes 2 to tango. If I'm paying extra, the woman ought to pay extra. They ought to pay. We ought to do this together, because I didn't have sex with myself. We did this together. I personally don't understand why the man has to pay extra.
Mate, you're making it's an inconvenience to someone's door. It's a serious thing. Their prices to pay. You know, African people have always just taken offense to that. You've distracted someone else's daughter from achieving what she wants to achieve in life. So there has to be some kind of price to pay. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
What's she trying to achieve?
Huh?
What's she trying to achieve?
You've distracted someone else's daughter. This is an intentional. You didn't bust inside her with the intention to have a you. You bust inside her with the intention to feel like the Usi's feeling. What the Usi's saying. You didn't bust, you get me? It's an inconvenience. It's very inconsiderate of you to do. So, you need to pay the price, because the dad is not going to be happy about that. It's as simple as that, bro.
All the other 20 guys, they were wise.
They were yeah. It's on you. It's on you. You bust inside and it's on you. It's on you. Now, girls, you need to tell these guys that you're dealing with that, right, these are the consequences. And then you guys, you make a decision off that. You take the risks. Now, if you're going to take this road, you fucking take that fucking road. And you're going to take what comes with that road. Don't be acting up when things are... So, girls, you stop lying to boys. Tell boys the honest truth, especially you Zim girls. Stop lying to boys. Stop lying to them. Tell them the fucking truth. Tell them, if you fucking get me pregnant, it's long. You better have to get some fucking money from somewhere, because my dad's not going to be happy. It's that simple, bro. People want to overcomplicate it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Yeah, let's go.
Once again, I can understand why that would happen, but don't really think that in today's society it would make much difference, because most people have kids before they're even old enough to drink legally anyways. So you wouldn't be able to, get married without having kids.
it's completely reasonable to have to pay extra for getting one pregnant before marriage in the bride price, because you guys are acting like idiots. You should not be getting pregnant before you're married. That does not make sense. It don't make money, it don't make sense. So definitely pay some sort of consequence. You understand? Don't raise a bastard.
Yes, I know they're like you violated the family and stuff like that, but usually nobody's raped. It's consensual. People came to agree, and then sometimes it's even the girl who pushed up for it. The guy was trying to hold himself, quote unquote. I'm gonna be sure for this, but then. I get to pay extra. I'm like, I didn't want to. She caught me up. So I personally don't think that it should only be, just like women should not be looked down upon where their body count is concerned. I don't think that men should be penalized for sex before marriage when it comes to Lobola, because it takes two to tango. Okay. Personally, I like to think, this is what I like to think. I think my exes might beg to differ. But I like to think that I'm very cultured. I like to think I'm very cultured, and I respect culture. I respect my culture. I take pride in my culture. Just like women should not be looked down upon where their body count is concerned, I don't think that men should be penalized for sex before marriage when it comes to Lobola, because it takes two to tango.
Do you know what? I've always thought how can you say because two people are obviously involved in making a baby, then the guy has to pay for damages. Is the baby a damage? I think that's a bit. If you look at it in that way, it almost sounds like, yeah, they've made a damage, like the baby's a damage. It's a bit, disrespectful. But then again, that's cultural. I feel like it's because out of respect, an alternative to Lobola, that's what they'll do. Yeah, I think, it's culture to my ancestors.
I don't even think about this stuff. This loyalty, confidence again. Someone who's like quite ambitious, because I don't want to be struggling with my partner. And what else? I don't know. Like just loving and generous and sweet and stuff.
Ambition. Number 2, respecting not just women, not just me, but everyone in life. Number 3, being a good parent. And, just to add on to that, maybe they already have kids, or if they plan to have kids, just a good parent in general. And 4, attractive.
They have to be saved. They have to be saved. They have to love God. That's 1. Family orientated. That is 2. Driven. That is 3. And respectful. Those are my 4 easily.
Family orientated, just some kind of religious beliefs, some morals. Not too fussed about the religion. Decent looks. Decent looks. That's a bit more detailed, but I'm not gonna go into. I said it previously, and someone that just understands me. Someone that just understands me. They just understand me as a person. I'm a bit of an odd character. And you just need to get on my level. You need to get on my level. So it's very important for someone to understand me. Because it's a difficult thing to do. So.
Strong foundation, relationship with God. It's in this order as well, to be honest. And then peng, and then funny, and then you have to have a strong appreciation for creativity and arts, because if your banter's dead, I'm not going to fake laugh an entire relationship.
once again, he has to be God-fearing. And then, again, he has to be hardworking, not lazy man. Obviously works hand in hand with me. And then, another one, has to be ambitious. You need to know, like, you have to have a plan A, plan B. You need to know, obviously, if anything, you know something to fall back on. And you have to be focused. You can't be on a Saturday, you're out doing whatever, and you forget you have work on Sunday. So you need to, like, be very focused, very sharp-minded, know what you want. You get it? How many was that? And then, yeah, then again, you have to have, you know, a person that's very, you have to be a very, what shall I say? Very sociable. But is that serious? But yeah, I wouldn't want, like, a person that's, like, very introvert. I would want something outrovert and, you know, out there and able to talk to and interact. Take them to a family event, and you just, yeah, you have to be a very open to talk to, you know, yeah.
Heads are coming off. Someone is going to jail. You did not just fucking disrespect me like that and had the audacity to let me find out in such a weak and pathetic way.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Wow. Phew.
I don't know, all jokes aside, I wouldn't really go to the female unless I knew her personally and it was one of them where she knew about us. But a couple punches have been thrown at my partner.
You're gonna have to call it quits. We're gonna have to come up with a plan. Well, I personally will come up with a plan on how I'm going to catch them sleeping one more time and just kick off. You know, so once I've come up with strong evidence, because at the end of the day, you know, if you're just gonna say, "Oh my God, how can you do this?" Like, they can just tell you a lie. You need to come up with strong evidence, just like in so many other cases. So once I come up with actual strong evidence, that's when we just, you know, kick off. We kick off and call it quits.
I think I'm leaving. I think I am leaving. That's what I'm doing. Bye-bye, Felicia. I think there's certain things that don't deserve a conversation. There's certain things that don't deserve a conversation. The reason this is difficult is in everything, I always try to look for the root, not the fruit. The fruit is the person is cheated. What is the root? And I think a lot of us don't look at it that way. You're like, if you're unhappy, just leave. If you're, that's good. But you get with another person, they won't be happy and they'll cheat again. Or you leave and you leave and you leave. So I think it is always good to look at the root as well.
Yeah, but how can you accidentally like fall into someone else's vagina?
So, personally, that could never be me. That's what I can say, innit? My partner has never cheated on me like that, man. That's silly behaviour. Yeah, that could just never happen, man. This question must be for someone else.
Personally, I haven't been in such situations, but if I was to look at it and be in that situation, I'm sorry, I'm packing my bags and leaving, blocking the guy and everything. Yeah, you're never hearing of me. Yeah, because that's bad. That's really bad. That's disrespect. Because for one, like, you're my partner. Like, obviously we have came to a conclusion that we are going to be partners, and then you go and do that. Nah, I'm sorry, that's disrespect. Yeah. Because you've hurt me so bad. What if, like, I feel like I've never experienced love, but if I was proper in love with that guy and he's done that, I feel like, nah, I'll have to take myself out of that situation, because having to constantly, having that thought when I see the guy, my partner, thinking, oh, he cheated on me, I'm sorry. I think it's hard to forgive sometimes. I think I will forgive him, but I wouldn't want to be involved with him ever again.
I'm just out. Like, I'm not even like giving an explanation. I'll just leave. Because what am I going to like have myself dealing with that for?
Sometimes it's not about parenting. Sometimes you just need to wait for it. Make the story better. Just wait. Yeah. And then just come up with a constructive plan so that when you're now saying it's over, she can't debate with that.
I'll just leave because I don't think I'll have the strength to have that conversation. I might come back later and be like, okay, let's talk about this. And then maybe if I'm not able to identify what I did to push you to that place, then then I don't know. But if I can figure that out myself, then I can be like, you know what, maybe I need to hold myself accountable as well. I might have pushed you to that place, and I might have neglected you. I might have done this and pushed you to that place. I have to take responsibility for that. But if it's just one of those things that, well, I was just bored, and there's really no good reason for it, then we have a really big problem. I think I'm just leaving, but I think I'll have space. The first thing I'll do is I'll have some space to think, to calm down, and then to rationalize. I know there's no excuse for cheating, but at least if you can find the reason, you can avoid it from happening again in your future relationship, or even in that relationship if you want to rebuild it again. So I'll chill, then we'll talk later.
Time. I fancy some time. It's very important you spend time together. Honesty, I guess. It's nice to tell the truth, but I mean, it's ideal. It'll be nice.
Time. We need to have time together, but we also need time apart to live our own lives. Number 2, what would I prioritise? Sex time. Definitely need time for that. And 3, what would I prioritise? Just making sure we're always like not agreeing on stuff, but having that communication there so we can always talk about things and reflect, maybe once a month or so, what's gone on, what we didn't like, what we did like.
Respect. Composure. But you need to, you have to be able to control, okay, you look so confused. You look so confused. What 3 things do you prioritize in a relationship? Respect, yeah. Why are you looking so serious? Your facial expressions just kill me. I just can't anymore. Yeah, you have to do that. So yeah, you have to respect me, my family, everything else. Respect is one of them. I don't know. Can you elaborate the question?
And just being on the same page, man. That's we just need to be on the same page. You can be on the first paragraph, I can be on the last paragraph, but we need to be on the same page. We need to be. Well, when we're flipping the page, we need to flip it together. We need to be on the same page, on the same program. Yeah. We just need to be on the same program, on the same page. Same font, same size, same page. That's what we need.
If it's long term, you have to be saved. I'm a minister. I need you to be saved because Most of the things that I do are church orientated. I write books, they're church orientated. I do conferences, they're church orientated. I live my life, it's church orientated. I'm a walking church. So for me, I need you to be saved. That's the first thing that I definitely need you to be. I need you to be family orientated. I repeat, you have to be family orientated. You have to be family orientated. And one more. Hey, she gave me only 3, man.
So having respect. Having respect and having respect.
Communication, making time for each other, and what else? 3 things. I don't know, like good sex.
I'll prioritize having a I would say someone that is goal driven. You know, together you can both work towards a goal. Prioritize, of course, loyalty and honesty, because if you've been in a relationship before, you're gonna know that when things usually go wrong, when those two are not being held up to a good enough standard. And prioritizing relationship, just being able to get on with each other and your compatibility. All makes sense.
So one of them is having respect, being very honest, and then being, having composure in certain situations, like being able to take control of things and not having to rely on obviously me or,
Good communication. Good communication will save you from a lot of things, from a lot of problems. If you can communicate well, and when I keep repeating well, because it's one thing to say, I'm not happy you did this, and just scream at my, you communicated, but you didn't communicate it well. It's another thing to be like, babe, when you did that kind of, I receive it better. Anybody will receive it better. And I'm sure if I'm talking to a girl and I did that to them, they would receive that better than if I just screamed at them. So just good communication.
So women need to understand that you need to allow the man to lead and do his role. Women at the same time need to sometimes just dumb it down a little bit. Just don't be too smart for your own good.